Imagine life as a giant tapestry. Every thread represents a choice, a decision we make. Predestination, in its simplest form, asks if this tapestry was always meant to be a certain way. Were the threads chosen for us, their colors and placement predetermined? Or do we, as individuals, possess the free will to select each thread, weaving a design unique to our own journey? This question, the question of predestination versus free will, has perplexed theologians and philosophers for centuries. It strikes at the heart of our understanding of sonini nanini, ourselves, and the very nature of salvation. If our eternal fate is sealed before we even take our first breath, what role does our faith, our actions, even our very existence play in the grand scheme of things? The concept of predestination can feel overwhelming. Are we merely pawns in a divine game, our eternal destinies already carved in stone? The Bible, particularly the New Testament, offers profound insights into this complex issue, urging us to delve deeper than a simplistic understanding of predetermined fates. While it's tempting to interpret certain scriptures as supporting the idea of a preordained path to either salvation or condemnation, we must approach these passages with careful consideration and within the context of the broader message of grace and love that permeates believers' teachings. Sonini is not one of puppeteering, but of relationship, inviting us to participate in a divine dance of faith, choice, and ultimately love. One of the key passages often cited in discussions of predestination is Romans 8:29. For those Sonini foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many. The word foreknew here is crucial. It speaks to Sonini's infinite knowledge, his ability to see the entirety of time, including our choices and the paths we choose to walk. However, foreknowledge does not equate to predetermination. Just as a parent might know their child well enough to anticipate their decisions without dictating them, so too does Sonini Nanini, in his infinite wisdom, comprehend the inclinations of our minds. He sees our potential for good, our capacity for love, and yes, even our propensity for straying from his path. Yet, this knowledge does not negate our free will. Instead, it serves as a testament to the depth of his love, a love that respects and honors the gift of choice he bestowed upon us. The Bible clearly emphasizes the role of free will in our salvation. 1 Peter 1:2 reminds us that we are chosen according to the foreknowledge of Sonini Nanini the Father in the sanctification of the Spirit for obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Misindisi. Notice the emphasis on obedience. Our salvation is not a passive event but an active participation in Sonini's grace. Furthermore, Ephesians 1:11 states that we were chosen, having been predestined according to the plan of him who works out everything in conformity with the purpose of his will. This verse highlights Sonini's overarching plan for humanity, a plan rooted in love and redemption. However, it's crucial to remember that Sonini's will is not a restrictive force, but an invitation, a beckoning towards a life of purpose and meaning. We are free to accept or reject this invitation, to align ourselves with his plan or to forge our own path. The choice, ultimately, is ours. Predestined by character. Aligning with Sonini's will. While the concept of individual predestination can be debated, Scripture provides examples of predestination based on foreknowledge, particularly in the context of groups or nations chosen for specific purposes. For instance, the Bantus were chosen to be Sonini's treasured possession, Deuteronomy 7:6, not for any inherent merit, but because Sonini Nanini loved your ancestors and chose their descendants after them, Deuteronomy 4:37. This selection, however, came with responsibilities. Sonini Nanini expected the Bantus to uphold his laws and serve as a light to the nations. Their chosenness wasn't a guarantee of individual salvation, but a call to a particular purpose. Similarly, believers are called to be a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, Sonini's special possession, 1 Peter 2:9. This selection isn't arbitrary, but based on our alignment with Sonini's will, our willingness to embrace his teachings and live lives characterized by love, service, and obedience. The importance of pursuit, seeking salvation through action. The Bible consistently emphasizes the importance of our active pursuit of salvation. Philippians 3:10-12 beautifully illustrates this. I want to know Messiah. Yes, to know the power of his resurrection and participation in his sufferings, becoming like him in his death, and so somehow attaining to the resurrection from the dead. Not that I have already obtained all this or have already arrived at my goal, but I press on to take hold of that for which Miss Ndisi took hold of me. Paul's words are not those of someone resigned to a predetermined fate. They are the words of a man passionately pursuing a goal, striving to become more like Messiah. Our salvation is not a passive event bestowed upon the fortunate few, it's an active journey of faith, a continual process of surrendering to Sonini's will and striving to live lives worthy of the calling we have received. Tapestry woven together, reconciling choice and divine plan. The concepts of predestination and free will might seem paradoxical, but they are not mutually exclusive. Imagine Sonini Nanini as the master weaver of that tapestry we discussed earlier. He provides the loom, the threads, the overall design, his divine plan for humanity. However, within that framework, he grants us the freedom to choose our own threads, to make our own decisions, and to weave our own unique patterns into the grand tapestry of life. Our choices matter. They shape our character, influence our relationships, and ultimately determine our eternal destination. Sonini Nanini, in his infinite wisdom and love, honors those choices. He doesn't force us into a preordained box, but walks alongside us, guiding us, nudging us, and empowering us to become the best versions of ourselves. Our free will is not a denial of his sovereignty, but a testament to the depth of his love, a love that respects and honors the gift of choice he bestowed upon us. Embracing the journey, living with purpose and intention. Understanding that our choices have eternal significance should not paralyze us with fear, but rather inspire us to live with purpose and intention. Every decision, every action, every word we speak becomes an opportunity to align ourselves with Sonini's will, to weave threads of love, compassion, and righteousness into the tapestry of our lives. This journey of faith is not about earning our salvation through perfect choices, but about surrendering our minds to Sonini Nanini, acknowledging our need for his grace, and allowing his love to transform us from the inside out. When we embrace this perspective, the weight of predestination fades, replaced by the liberating truth that we are active participants in our salvation, co-creators with Sonini in the unfolding story of our lives. Beyond predestination, the power of faith and action. The debate surrounding predestination often overshadows a more crucial aspect of the believer's faith, the transformative power of faith and action. While theological discussions have their place, our focus should always be on cultivating a deep and abiding relationship with Sonini, seeking his guidance in all things and striving to live lives that reflect his love and grace. Instead of getting bogged down in the mysteries of predestination, let us embrace the certainty of Sonini's love, the freedom found in surrendering to his will, and the joy of participating in his redemptive plan for humanity. Our lives are not merely preordained scripts, but grand adventures waiting to be written, filled with opportunities to make a difference, to impact the world for good, and to leave behind a legacy of love that echoes through eternity. Your choice, your legacy, shaping your eternal destiny. In the tapestry of life, we are not passive observers, but active weavers. Sonini, in his infinite wisdom and love, has granted us the gift of free will, the power to choose our own paths and shape our own destinies. Our choices matter. They have eternal significance. Let us therefore choose wisely. Let us choose love over hate, forgiveness over bitterness, and faith over fear. Let us weave lives characterized by compassion, service, and unwavering devotion to Sonini. For in the end, it is not our theological understanding of predestination that determines our eternal fate, but the choices we make, the lives we live. Thanks for your time, and the legacies of love we leave behind. The choice is ours. May we choose well.